It used to be warmer. Saved all the light that was ours. It's such a long time.
I think that Luke is a pleaser, so he knows that I am attracted to him and I like him. So he kissed me last night, I guess, just to try it, and then had to stop because he said that it made him feel repulsed and dead inside. It makes me feel terrible, and I don't know what to do.
Last night, I just kind of had turned off my emotions inside.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. Like, share, and subscribe. We're here talking to you guys about Married. Again. My love is your love, and your love is my love. It will take an eternity. Boom. Listen, let's get into the video. Married at First Sight. Gay. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Alright, shake him and bake him. Shake him and bake him, baby. Alright, cool. Listen, so, what is going on? Now, guys, let me just break it down for you. You know, I took my time and actually watched this episode twice because I was like, yo, I need to get into this deep. And one of the things that really frustrated me was the fact that these experts knew exactly what they were doing when they put Luke and Kate together. That's what annoys me.
We matched Kate and Luke because they were each dating the wrong kind of person. And yet they were both looking for that kind of family stability that a marriage brings. But Luke seems to be sabotaging the marriage based purely on his initial attraction to Kate. And this experiment is about so much more than physical attraction. It's about values and morals and finding someone you can share a life with and grow old with. Those factors are much more important than the physical because attraction can grow over time.
You already know Kate is malleable, meaning that Kate is willing to bend. But Luke was unable to bend because he's got a certain type of gal that he likes. And that frustrates me because if they knew the type of girl that he goes for, of an ethnic minority, or you want to call, sorry, I shouldn't say minority, but more of an ethnic background or a certain skin tone, why? Why did you put Kate in there? You knew his type of girl that he liked and you put a different type of girl in there. The poor girl Kate, I feel so sorry for her. And a part of me feels sorry for Luke, you understand? Because if you know I like a certain type of girl, why are you putting a certain type of girl that I don't feel in front of me?
What is your racial and ethnic preference?
Last was a mixed girl, just black and Italian. Before that was Brazilian. Before that was white girl and Palestinian.
It's like the United Nations.
Yeah.
And then asked me to marry it. But I remember I said this in the second episode when Luke was getting married. I said, his mum said something very, very key. Luke is the type of guy that will continue this process, yeah, and go through it just because he's a committed type of guy. Well, in this particular process, we don't need you to be committed, Luke. We need you to tell the truth. If you weren't feeling her, you should have not gone through with the marriage. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we've now got a girl, and I think the reason why I'm so stressed about this particular situation, yeah, is, and I'll come on to other points later on, because we know how much we're going to blast Luke. You know how I blasted Aaron from Ready to Love? I'm ready to blast Luke. Obviously, Luke told Kate, yeah, that he doesn't find her attractive, okay? But he kind of said these behind the scenes, and then we saw the foreground videoing of them talking about the issue. Now, one thing I realized about Luke was, yeah, is the laid back attitude that he had towards this whole situation. That frustrated me because as Kate is talking to him, remember I told you about the Aaron situation, Ready to Love? Luke is sitting there like this and laid back, like it doesn't concern him. Like this situation is not a problem. It's a bloody problem. You see, when it's not a problem, you see, like that's how I knew that that he wasn't really taking this kind of seriously. And the reason why I said that is because at the dinner table, you don't see that relaxed behaviour. When she asks, why haven't you kissed me? You can see the tension in his face. Oh, we're going to go there now. But now we can see a situation, yeah, where he's sitting in a chair and he's saying, you know, I'm glad we had that talk and etc, etc. Yeah, I'm glad we had that talk, etc, etc. And da 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 da. But you can see the fact is, yeah, my man's relaxed in a chair like this, like, You're not relaxed. You're too relaxed, bro.
Like, you could have been the one that, like, was not
just
what
all
I wanted.
physical.
I know it's not all physical, and I definitely agree with that. So I feel like I just, like, really lucked out that, like, they, like, also got the physical for me. But so, like, I guess it's gonna be harder for you.
It's a conversation where you told somebody that you don't think they're attractive to you, bro. Which is not a problem, because I understand that we all find certain people attractive, but the painful thing is how he's just acknowledging that. Like, if I'm Kate, I'm pissed, bruv. What kind of body language are you showing me that you don't really care? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm engaged in a conversation, yeah, my body language will tell you I'm engaged in a conversation. Even right now, as you see me, I'm not like this as I'm doing my video. Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's LBB. You know, feel me? Da da da. Because I'm not trying to show a relaxed approach. What I'm trying to show you is that there are things that we need to point out, and it's a serious conversation that we're having, a dialogue. So I'd appreciate the body language to match that. Do you get what I'm saying? It was, and I think the reason why he can do that is because he's in control of the situation. What I mean by that is, Kate's very malleable. She's very soft, will bend to the will. So right now he's in absolute control. That's why he keeps telling her about, are you not brushing your teeth or whatever. I mean, she got Colgate white teeth on like mine. I'm just saying, like, I don't have that kind of perfect smile. But obviously man keeps stressing upon that. Now, I know she does smoke a little bit, so maybe that's the reason why he keeps on mentioning it. But it's like, you kiss the girl behind the scenes. Could you not mention the brushing your teeth thing behind the scenes? Why did you have to put that into the foreground? It's, again, you're trying to embarrass the girl. It's these little things that I don't really like about Luke, and where, you know, some people are a bit too much like, he's a narcissistic, and it's like, yo, relax. Yeah, let's not go so deep so quick. Let's just assess their behavior, but let's not jump straight into narcissistic behavior. People, guys, let's relax a little bit. You know, if we always jump to labeling people aggressively, yeah, we can never understand why someone is the way they are. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to understand. Cool. So when I was looking at Luke and I was just watching him, he's a very analytical guy. I've said this before, and he processes things like bit by bit. That's how he does it. He observes things. So he observed her behavior, and then intentionally stated about brushing her teeth, and then intentionally stated that he's not attracted to her, and then intentionally kissed her behind the scenes, yeah, and then told her that he feels dead and repulsive inside. Now, let me tell you this now. From an internal perspective, somebody who's an analytical person, do you feel that comment would have made sense? So then you have to kind of ask yourself, why, if you're a person who observes and is intentful in your actions, bear in mind you said you're going to take it slow, and you don't mind kissing, you don't mind not going to intimacy potentially, you thought about things. So why were you not thoughtful in the words that you said? So that kind of leads me to incline that you haven't got a filter on your mouth. And when you haven't got a filter on your mouth, it is because you've been in a place of privilege when it comes to dealing with females. You've always had it good. And therefore, you open your mouth to say something out of the place of privilege. Because somebody who would have cared about the person, who actually cares about people's human emotion, I'm not saying doesn't, but I'm saying somebody who genuinely cares and thinks about people's emotions, hasn't come from a place of privilege when it comes to relationship, that they've always been equal in a relationship. Maybe not been so. Like, and when I say privilege, I'm talking about the fact that when you get into a relationship, it's almost like a 50-50. You feel the girl, she feels you. Not in the case of where you've been in relationships where the girl feels you more and you're gassed off for it. You know what I'm saying? So when you come from that place of privilege where girls are always chasing you or girls are always on your case, or you feel like the girl likes you more than you like her, what happens is people tend to build up this kind of air of greatness. I'm great, I'm amazing, you know what I mean? And so you say things without really thinking about the effect of it, even though you're an analytical person. You have to deep where this mindset's coming from. And so when he's saying it was a dead and repulsive kiss, he said that off camera. Bro, let me tell you something. Oh man, it made me annoyed, because someone like Kate, yeah, you said she's a beautiful girl, she's caring, and then you go and say something like that, which can destroy somebody. You know, words have the power to kill. I always say this in the Bible. The Bible talks about it in James. Words are like poison. It is a tongue that can set a whole forest on fire. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that tongue can set a fire blazes. Instead of it cooling problems, it sets things alight. And instead of Luke choosing correct words here to actually say, look, do you know what? At the moment, yeah, I'm not really feeling you on that level, but do you know what? I'm committed to making this work. And you know what? I always say this: delivery is so important. And in your delivery is intonation, is the words you actually use, and then the content of what you're talking about. If you do not know how to deliver certain things, yeah, don't say them at all, or ask somebody how I should say this. Because if I say to you, blood, you stink, yeah, or I say, listen, bro, look, you know what, I don't know if you know, yeah, but at the moment you've got a bit of a BO problem. It's like a body odor. I don't know if you're not showering in the morning, or is there a problem, reason why potentially you may be smelling. Like, the way I've delivered it, completely different from you stink. You stink sets somebody else on a defensive and hurts their feelings. But when I'm trying to come with a person, when I come in a place of love, yeah, and a place of understanding, this is not a romantic love, but an understanding of human nature. I come in a correct way. I don't like what you're doing. I don't tell you to, if I tell you to shut up, or I say, I beg you shut up. I beg you shut up, man. I beg you shut up. Even the way I'm smiling and I'm saying the words, I'm saying the same word, but guess what? The delivery is completely different. And so for me, in relationships, guys, we have to learn a lesson from Luke here. Yeah, we know he's a bit of a prick in terms of what he said, but let's learn a lesson from this, which is, when you don't like something, how do you deliver the content? When you don't agree with something, how do you deliver the content? Because if you deliver the content the same way that Luke delivered the content, guess what? You're going to have a problem. Someone like Kate might be malleable and cool, so she ain't responding, but she's generally hurt internally. But someone else might flip. So men, especially, I want us to be careful in what we say, because what we say goes deeper than what we're actually doing. And, you know, words can hold for a long, long time. Yeah, and like I said, because words are like poison, you don't see the effect of it immediately, but you will see it later on. If Amazon delivered a parcel and threw it at you at the doorstep, I mean, you receive it, all right, but how do you receive it? How do you feel about the delivery now? Like, the thing is a valuable piece of thing that you bought, and a person who's delivering to the door throws it at you. How are you going to receive it? How are you going to feel about the person who's delivering to you? Prick! Yeah, that's what you're going to feel. So let's be careful how we deal with things in relationship. Anyway, I've got off point. I've been talking about mad things for long, putting together, which already tells me you're not that you're not committed, but he's not on this. And if he's not on this, let's dip out, man.
Kate's very beautiful. She has beautiful eyes and a really nice smile. Her giggle is adorable, but she's just not what I would normally date. So I've been very open-minded, and I know the experts put us together for a reason, and I've been trying very hard to get to know her personality, but at the same time, I feel like maybe weren't vocal enough about what you were into, kind of with the experts. And
because the reason why I say this is because every second that we waste in this thing trying to figure out whether you like her or not, Luke, is Kate's mental state, bro. Because when you're in a place here where you're not sure if someone likes you or not yet, and you're having to meander through it, yeah, it's painful, it's heartache, it's a mental battle. And so the longer he takes to not know what wagwan is, the longer she's in a place of limbo, which creates this crazy effect in your mind, which makes you feel like you're mad. And I don't want her to feel that way, you know, and anybody can snap at that point, you understand? So either, Luke, you're doing this or you're not doing this, you understand? Like, let's get it, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it to that point. One thing I find really annoying about him is that he's very judgmental. Very judgmental. I mean, on the first episode when he was prejudging AJ about the fact that AJ was doing a bit too AJ's doing a bit too much, whatever, laughing a bit too much, and you know, he was doing too much on the tour bus, etc. And you know, the way he was judging AJ, saying, you know, like trying to judge him for being free, basically, being himself. And I was like, Luke, what are you talking about? Let the man be free. Let AJ be himself. You understand? And then later on, we see the same thing with Keith when they're playing golf, and it's the way he pronounces certain things. He doesn't. It's almost as if he doesn't think about what he's thinking, but it's almost as if he doesn't realize the power of his words, and so he doesn't mince his words. And so therefore, when you're talking about Keith, I was just like, bro, why are you judging a man?
Got it. Sorry. What the hell? Wow! That was amazing. Keith is a hazard to everyone around him with his golf skill. He let go of the club and didn't even yell for, so it's dangerous.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that constant judgment. That's the same thing that he uses with Kate. That's why the toothbrush comment comes out and it's really annoying, because it's a judgment. It's not about him being loving. It's about him judging. And judging with condemnation is a problem. Judgment with love doesn't have a problem. But judgment in condemnation always will be. And just to say with the experts as well, I mean, they really kind of frustrated me. Why are we saying, that, we should look beyond physical attraction? My G, I have 2 eyes, so I can see.
Luke seems to be sabotaging the marriage based purely on his initial attraction to Kate. And this experiment is about so much more than physical attraction.
When the experts put Manute together, you've got 2 eyes. Of course, I'm gonna see someone and not feel like attracted towards them, and you're expecting me to not think about that. It's crazy. But then in regards to obviously talking about attraction, it's crazy because obviously Luke made a point that, you know what, he doesn't have a type.
That I'm just not like what he was expecting. I'm not what he dated in the past, so.
Well, what was he expecting? Exactly.
Well, I tried to get that out of him too. I was like, well, what is your type? And he said, well, I don't have a type.
Then that doesn't make any sense.
I know.
But evidently he has a type, because you don't feel Kate. You have a type. You know what I'm saying? You have a brunette type. You said that. You normally, typically you go for brunettes. That is a type.
Situation is definitely tricky, and it's kind of hard to have her not be what I'm typically attracted to, which is darker features. I like brunettes and dark eyes. And Kate is the opposite, but I'm hoping that attraction will grow between us as we spend more time together.
Bro, you understand? Like, when people say, like, I don't have a type, like, bro, it's like they haven't sat down and thought about this. Look at the range of girls you've gone for, the range of guys you've gone for. You have a type. You go for similar traits, characteristics, and looks. You have a type. You understand? So when you deal with that, then you can actually move. Then actually, the experts could have probably given you a better choice. But because you didn't admit you don't have a type, but although the preferences show that you do have a type, both parties are here to fail. I mean, both the experts and Luke are here to fail, because Luke didn't make it very explicitly clear, and then these experts as well should have known better. You're experts. You're giving a man this kind of girl who he doesn't feel for. And I want to even ask this question, can attraction grow over time? Hell yeah, but I think it's more difficult for a man because we see things, We are moved by vision, and we're visual creatures. So from the back onwards, we want to see that we're attracted to somebody. Whereas a girl may potentially go, you know what? Because I need these needs met, security, emotional, financial, spiritual care, I need those aspects being met as well. Whereas a guy's like, the first thing that's clicking in our head is like, do I find you attractive? Because if I don't, there's a million other girls I can find attractive first and find a great personality. So for us guys, it's slightly different. And do you know what it is as well? I call it situational attraction. Kate is somebody who potentially for Luke, if they were working together in close proximity, this could have worked, because he would have grown to see that he's attracted to her. Because there's things where when you're working with somebody, or in the same place as somebody on a constant basis, that you start to see another side of them, their personality, and it begins to become part of their beauty. But when you meet someone off the bat, you haven't had the opportunity to see their personality, so you just go off what their look is. Now, someone might say it's a bit shallow, but we do that every day. We make judgments about people and certain things on a day-to-day basis. I can't blame somebody from being at the jump, not caring about it, not wanting to get to know someone. I don't blame a girl who looks at me and goes, I don't find him attractive, so I'm not going to give him a chance. I honestly cannot expect you to give me a chance thinking on the first basis you don't find me attractive. It's fine. In fact, I don't want you to even like me if you don't find me attractive. I want you to feel that you feel attracted to me. You understand? Yes, I have other qualities and they will come. But there's a bag of men that you'll feel attracted to who have the qualities that I have anyway. So I've got no qualms with that. And nobody should have qualms with that anyway. Because at the end of the day, there are going to be somebody you're going to like first off the bat and has the same personality that you need for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yes, certain people is situational, meaning that you get into a circumstance or a situation and you see that the person is like this and you start to find them attractive. And the other ones where you see them off the bat, they are attractive. Simple as. And I think for this case, this is situational, but this is different because they're actually in a relationship. I've got to like you now. Whereas beforehand, if you're not in a relationship, I don't have to like you. And so I get time to form my opinion about you by watching you and observing you in a situational environment. They haven't had that time because they're instantly been put into marriage. So Luke is going to struggle to change his mind because it's no longer situational. It's, I now have to find how I like you, and I don't. I felt bad for Kate because she told the girls, that, she felt a certain way about the situation when Luke obviously, told her he's not attracted to her, and she told the girls. And I was expecting the girls to kind of rally around her and hug her and say, look, it's alright. But there was nothing like that, bro. Everyone sat in their same place and just kind of was like, and I was like, wow, girls, this could have been a perfect opportunity to kind of just showcase your support. Not saying that they probably don't do this behind the scenes, but I'm saying it would have been perfect to kind of show your support by, going, just getting off your mat and hugging her and saying, listen, it's going to be alright, you're beautiful, rah, rah. I mean, they did say she's pretty, but it's just like, bro, it's like, you're pretty. And then I'm like, yeah, you are pretty, don't worry, you are pretty, yeah.
Going into it, I knew this was a possibility. We all did. We all knew, like, maybe one of us would not be attracted to the other person.
But you have to be open. That's a part of...
Don't worry, you're pretty, you're fine. But, the action as well would have been very helpful. And I think that Kate is, her love language is physical touch. So, because that's why she likes that cuddles and being in the bed and being tactile. She wants all of that. But it would have been nice for the girls to kind of just hug her and just kind of say, look, it's going to be alright. That's my personal opinion. One thing I noticed as well is about Luke's kind of behaviour, which is that, you can tell he doesn't find her attractive. And the reason why you can tell is because you can kind of just see how he always pulls away when, they're talking. Or, how he tries to keep his distance. For instance, when they're doing the vlogging, yeah, he's always looking at the camera and making sure he doesn't lean back into him. If you watch Keith and Christine's, you see that Keith is holding the camera, but Keith will always kind of lean into Christine. So although he's vlogging and he's looking at the camera, he leans into Christine, again, because he's comfortable being tactile, he's comfortable with the space, he's comfortable to close the space. When you don't like somebody, you're not comfortable in their space. And that's why I think I put in my video about telling about when someone is cool with you or when someone even likes you, yeah, they are comfortable of you being in their space. They don't mind you being in their space because they don't feel no way. It's not a guarantee that someone likes you, but I'm just kind of just giving an example. But we can tell straight away that Luke is not feeling her. I mean, even when they were in the mud part, he did not want to be that close to her.
To kind of get to know each other more and figure out what that is.
Oh yeah, I would say him, yep.
Anybody else getting tanned yet from here?
Now, obviously, he did the touching thing. That's not a problem. A man touching another gal is never a problem because you don't have to look at the face to touch a gal. You understand? So it was never a problem with him doing that part. But when it comes to the intimate parts, because me touching you up, me putting mud on you, it's not intimate. But when I start now having to do the little cuddles, you see all the couples are, cuddling in the water and da-da-da-da, and I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and then you can see there's a gap between the two of them. It's awkward. It's just mad painful, man. He doesn't feel it at all, cuz. It's just for me, I feel like, that it's a tough one, and I don't know if I'm gonna say it. I just don't think Luke is ever gonna come round to the Kate idea. He never was intrigued. He was never interested in the first place. I think he was more interested in her friend than he was in her. I think he was also annoyed at the fact that she didn't recognize him from the wedding, from when they were at the wedding, because he likes minute details to be noticed. So there's a bag of things that are just building up to a certain point, which is I'm not feeling you. Like I said, when you're feeling somebody as a guy and you're feeling a girl, bro, and you've been given this opportunity to be married at first sight, not that you've met a girl on the street and you're having to now do the grafting and talking, but you're actually married to this girl, so everything's easy and smooth and done over. You've got no excuse. So if you're not feeling her, we can tell. We can tell. I'm not saying you got to kiss or anything, but let there be intimacy. Let us see the physical. Let there be the closing of the gap. You know what I'm saying? But she said obviously they cuddle every night. Again, it must not be a problem. Cuddling is not an intimate thing for him. Do you get what I'm saying? But we can see from the outgo set, and again, that's off camera. When we're on camera, we ain't never seen them. I don't see them cuddling. You ever seen them cuddling? They were in the bed together, but they weren't cuddling. There was space between them again. When the camera was on, he was out of the bed again. Like, do you know what I mean? Bruv. Anyway, listen. Little black bug. Little black bug, you know what time it is. Let us know your comments down below if you agree or disagree. And make sure you like, share and subscribe. You get me? And get ready for the 5 minutes on Monday, because we're going to be bringing that to you about your funny and your interesting comments as well. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Shackle for me, shackle for me, yeah? Alright, appreciate you. Stay blessed, locked and loaded. Doo-doo.